Look at this one, Barber Lane. He looked like a young bull too. Looked like a young bull. He started the program. He was making $4,000. Look what he's making now. Man, stop, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all that 90% of our students that have been in the program 6 months or longer are making over $10,000 a month. I'm trying to tell y'all that. There are almost 400 students in the mentorship that all paid a real investment. And if you know how much it costs to join the mentorship, you know that's a lot of money. But that money is not why I do this, even though it's a lot of money. I probably have 4 other companies that make more money than this. I don't need to do this. I've been teaching for free my entire career. Been doing this a dozen years, 12 years. Been on YouTube for a long time. Even before YouTube in Tampa, every Saturday I would do free classes. And one thing that I learned is the higher the quality of education, the higher quality of students necessary, and you filter them out by some way, shape, or form. We've done a very good job of doing that, and that is why our success rate is so high. I just think that we do a good job of funneling the right people in, and that's why we have a success rate. So if you're on my live at 1 o'clock in the morning, tuned in, listening to this, engaged, there's 50,000 other barbers that could be being here. They not here, guys. That's why I do these late lives every now and then, just to tap in with the guys who are hungry. Because I remember spending every single night when I decided I was gonna be a barber, every single night on YouTube, just obsessed with this industry, just obsessed with it. So y'all are in the right place. What's up, bro? I know him,
What's
though.
up?
I know him. How you been, man?
Yeah,
How's everything?
I've been doing amazing. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good.
Yeah,
Talk to me, man.
it's nothing much. I was the one that I think it was 4,000 to 15,500. Yeah.
Damn. So can you walk me through this? First off, that's incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
amazing.
you.
Where are you from? Where do you live?
I'm in San Diego,
San
California.
Diego, California. All right. Can you tell us your story, bro? What happened?
Oh
How this
man.
happened?
Dang. Okay. So I was okay. So I graduated high school. I was like really like lazy, man. I was like not really like motivated that much. I graduated high school. I remember telling my mom, she was like, "Man, you gotta work. You gotta work." And I was like, I had this mindset. It was a flawed mindset, but I was like, man, I think I'm gonna wait as long as I can because I'm gonna work the rest of my life. Like I want to just enjoy the free time that I have. So I was in that mindset for a couple months, and then long story short, my brother was like, man, you should learn how to cut hair like on the side, this and this and that. And it was like something that I was like, I was not serious about, but I was like, you know what, all right, cool. So I picked up the clippers and I loved it. And I was like, dang, I was like it was everything about it, man. I think my first haircut was on myself.
I could do this for work?
Yeah.
I could do this for a living?
It was like, it was crazy,
I could
man.
make
It was crazy.
15.5 doing this.
I know. I was like, man, it was crazy. So I started cutting hair. I was watching your videos. It was like honestly nothing but you and probably Jeezy, but mainly you. Honestly, it was all about you. And so that's how I learned how to cut hair. But what really got me like on the journey, like on the mindset that I'm on now, was like I realized that that idea of having to work the rest of my life, it was like a false belief. Like it wasn't something that was true. Like it was only true if I wanted it to be true. And that's when I was like, my brother's a realtor, so he was like, man, you could buy some properties, you rent them out, and then eventually you couldn't replace an income. And at the time, like the biggest number I could think of was 10,000. So I was like, shoot, if I could get 10,000 a month passive income, this is it. So I was trying to do that. I was working at Walmart minimum wage at the time, and so I had a little goal, man, this little roadmap.
I worked at Walmart too, by the way.
Oh man, see, I love Walmart. Actually, a lot of people there were like not happy about it, but like not like about me working there, but like just there. But I loved it, man. It was my first job. It was the first time I had income, and I was kind of good with money. So like I saved my money. I made $2,000 a month, and my checking account went up $2,000 a month. But I was really dedicated to this idea of like retiring early. My goal was to retire at 30.
You gonna do it?
And with 10,000 a month.
You gonna do it, by the way. You gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is I appreciate that. And on the journey, like I realized honestly, the mentorship helped me a lot, man. When you the first thing that I remember that really like hit me was the why, questioning why am I on this journey? Why is retiring early important? And you really made me question, like, do I really want to retire early? And what I realized is like, I love this. Like, I love to work. Like it wasn't even that. I think what I wanted was the option to choose how I spend my time every single morning. And so that's when I realized like, oh shoot, like retiring isn't even the goal no more. I just want to be able to do what I want with my time. I listened to one of your lives talking about like financial freedom is underrated, and that one that one blew my mind. Like, oh, like I learned so much during that live. Like you have no idea. Like I remember thinking like I was one of the people in my own head, like, how is it underrated? How is it underrated? And as I started to hear your argument, I was like, damn.
Overrated.
Yeah,
Overrated.
there you go. There you go. Overrated. Yeah.
Yeah, that one got, bro, people were mad about that live. I was getting a lot of hate for that live.
Damn.
Like, it was incredible. It was incredible. Like, even after that live, I was trying to respond to people to get my point across to them, but they couldn't get over that statement.
Yeah.
That it's overrated.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So why was that impactful to you?
It was impactful for me. Like, so I learned a little bit before this, but I didn't like fully grasp the picture. Like I was like, oh, like, so this is around the time where I started to understand that, like, to like give some context to make it like explain why it was impactful. So I remember I was talking to some guy. He was talking to me about like money and happiness. And he was talking about like, oh, you know, make more money, you're gonna make me more happy. And we're kind of like getting into it, not like getting into it, but like I was like explaining. And in that conversation, I was explaining to him how like happiness and more money, like money problems, they're like, many people coincide them, but in reality, they're like two separate things. Like if you want to be more happy, you need to focus on happiness. And if you want more money, you need to focus on money. They're separate. Like getting one is not going to get you the other. And so the reason why that, like I say that, is because like I kind of understood that concept, but I still held this financial freedom like high up. But it was more at the time that I was giving it the freedom, but or this high regard. But it wasn't until you told, like you were saying, you know, can you already do a lot of the things that you want financial freedom to do? And everything that I wanted to do, I could already do it. And it was really my mindset that was holding me back. And that's when I realized, like, oh shoot, like everything that I want, like I can already do. So why am I holding this idea like so high up? Like, and don't get me wrong, the idea or having it is not bad, but it's like, not, no. Is it really? I was thinking that, oh, when I get it, my life's gonna change. When in reality, like I'm already doing the things I love to do, spending it with the people I love, like everything like that. And so I realized, like, dang, this is not gonna change my life like at all.
People make it the core of their life. They don't realize it's just another piece to the puzzle. That's all it is, right?
Yeah. And once without even achieving it yet, I realized like it's not that like big. Although I think it'll be nice, right? Knowing that it's like I think it's like almost like, you know, marriage,
but also think about it this way too. When you focus, when you give everything as much of a high regard as financial freedom, doesn't it come much easier? Isn't that crazy how that works?
You know? Especially people, man. People have been like one of the biggest for me. The more you can pour into people, like when they say network is everything, like it continues to shock me on how true that statement really is.
That's where real wealth is shown, right? Like what do you have to offer to the people you love the most? You know, that's where real wealth is. You know, you can only do so much with money to help people. You got to be able to impact them, you know, outside of that, right? Just like I've impacted you here, with some of those paradigm shifts, and that's just me being older than you and being on the same path, right? Like obsessed with learning and growing. You're just younger than me. You're on the same path, and but you're smarter than I was, because you're smarter, but you also have access to there was no courses like this when I was doing barber. You know what I mean? Like YouTube was really just starting to pop like it is now, right? What's next for you? What's next? You're making a killing. You're making like doctor money, bro. Like this is people go spend $100,000 in schooling to make the type of money you're making, right? But they're usually 30 years old when you're making this type of money. How old are you?
I'm 22.
22. So you already know this. So I'm assuming you didn't pull out the Hellcat. Please tell me you didn't pull out.
Nah, not at all.
All right.
Not at all.
So you're making about $15,000 a month. Okay. Oh, how much of that is your lifestyle?
Very low, very low. I think I still live with mom's at the house. Still drive my 2001 Toyota Corolla.
Come on, man.
So I mean, I would say my biggest expense is booth rent, which is, I think, like it comes out to about like $14,000 a year roughly. So I would say like this year, I actually calculated, which is crazy. This year I think I made like about 170, and I spent about 21,800 or something like that. 21,800. So yeah, I'm living real frugal right now, but
It's
we're gonna get
why, I know why it's not cool, but like that's not all over social media.
yeah.
This man is, how old are you again? Say
I'm
one more time.
22.
He's 22 years old. Saved, not invested, not made, saved over $100,000 this year alone, guys. He's gonna be a multi-millionaire by the time he's 30. He's gonna invest his money. It's gonna compound over time. He's gonna, if he just puts it in real estate, his money doubles every 10 years. If he puts in the S&P 500, it compounds at this rate in the last 50 years, 9-10% a year. Okay, you do that, you're gonna be a millionaire, multi. You will never have to work another day in your life, bro. When you hit 30.
I know.
Honestly, if you play your cards right, depending on the opportunities that are out there, and we're watching. I'm constantly updating you guys on what's going on in the economy. We have business plays, we have real estate plays, we have stock plays. I got some really good stock plays coming up. So make sure you tune into those weekly calls.
Okay.
But bro, think about that, man. Let's look at a compounding calculator real quick. Just see, everybody talks about saving and being frugal. I don't talk about that. I just say, don't let your lifestyle creep up and match how much you make. You got no kids, right?
No kids.
No kids, no wife, right?
Nah. I got a girl, but no, we're not married or nothing.
But listen, honestly, if you got a girl right now at 22, before you're actually rich as fuck, like, you got a good woman then.
Yeah,
like,
we've been together since high school. It's been like 4 years now.
So I've been with my wife since high school too. I was 16. She was 15.
That's crazy. I see some of your pictures. I think you posted on your anniversary, and
bro,
that was 18, cool, man. It was inspirational.
18 years later, bro.
That's awesome, man.
Best decision of my life, because you know what tends to happen is, in the beginning you think you're missing out on shit. Now, I played basketball in college. I went over to another, I traveled and played basketball and stuff. So I got to see like my teammates, and it's almost like it's cool in the beginning and you're not cool. But all of a sudden it flips.
Yeah.
And when you're 30 and you've been with your wife and you got a family and you're doing well and nice house with a white picket fence and you're traveling the world with your family, it flips.
Yeah.
And the rest of your life, you are thanking your 22-year-old self for making the right decisions. I'm telling you.
In the beginning of the year, I went on a missionary trip. And as I was going on the missionary trip, I literally left January 2nd.
Was it the missionary trip?
The Dominican Republic. Yeah, it was.
Oh, that's dope.
It was legit.
Yeah.
That was an amazing time. But on my flight to Dominican, I was working on my goals, everything that I wanted to do this year or last year, and my target was 160. And I was like, I was just really ambitious with it. I was like, 160 is the goal. We're gonna do it. I'd say a month in, I was like, damn. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this 160. So I was not happy with myself, but I was like, I need to be a little more realistic and let's bump it down to 140, but we're gonna like overshoot. So this is crazy. This happened to me twice in 2 years. So I know how, I'm learning how it works. Right up until like 5-6 months is when I was like, oh shoot, I could do 160 again. Like I was like, damn.
Pushing, right?
Yeah.
Man, this is possible.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. What happened? So, okay, let me give more backstory. Last year, 2021 was my first year barbering, I think, like full time. I think I started in February. And that year I made 101.
Hold on, wait a second. What'd you say?
That was my first time barbering 2022, sorry. 2022. I'm sorry.
So 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty much like, almost 2 years. I graduated barber school 2022 of January, and I didn't start full time in the barbershop till February. And that year is when I joined the mentorship. I think I joined it a few months after that. And that year I made 100. My goal was 100, and I made 101, 500 or something like that.
All right. It's been funny because, we have a lot of people who start the program and they're in barber school or they're just getting fresh job. For me, looking at like how my career went, it would have been very difficult for me to join this mentorship at the price it is. It's an investment, right? Especially for a barber school student that doesn't really know what to expect, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did you join the program right out of barber school? Number two, how the frick? I know how Jordan did it. How did you do it so quickly? Make 6 figures your first year out of barber school.
Okay, so the why I did it.
Yeah. You know I like why. So.
Oh yeah. So my first year, right? My guy's funny. All right, so my first year, what did I? Okay, so my first year in, I remember like you were my guide, man. Like I think I told you this when I first joined, but you were really like, you inspired everything for me. So I was watching your videos, and you would talk about the program, but not very much. I mentioned it in my testimonial. I thought I knew what I was doing. So like in reality, I didn't. I had no idea. I just had a hope and a dream, and I was like, I'm gonna figure out this no matter what. But I was just, I was my first year in, and I seen one video that made me realize everything. You were talking about KPIs, and you were talking about metrics, and you were talking about all this stuff. And in that video, I was like, there is so much that I do not know. I didn't think of nothing that you said in that video. I didn't know any of it. And I was like, what the heck? So that made me realize, like, okay, there's a lot for me to learn. Like I'm not arrogant, or I'm not I'm not somebody who's like, oh yeah, I think I just thought I knew what I was doing, but I really didn't. And it made me realize that. So when I joined, I did it. And because I realized, like, okay, there's something here that I'm missing. So I did. And that's why I joined. It was just because, like, it was very apparent to me that I didn't know what I was doing at all. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, like, I didn't really I put thought into it, but I didn't think of it too much.
But here's the thing though, Raul, you're in the industry and you're paying attention, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of guys in your situation where you feel like you know what you're doing, and you don't, and they'll still watch. Mm-hmm. They'll go to classes, they'll watch content like this, but they still don't pull the trigger. You pulled the trigger. There's something deeper. Like there's a real, like, you're 21 years old at the time, maybe 22, I don't know. And you did it. You pulled the trigger. Yeah. What is it?
Honestly, to be 100% honest with you, like, I look back and I don't know. Yeah. I just know that, like, that honestly, for me personally, the video explained it all. And maybe it was because I know you were where I wanted to be, and I don't know, it just wasn't a question. When I watched that video, I was like, I don't know anything. Yeah. Like, I need to know this. If I don't know this, like, here's the thing that I told some of my buddies too, is like, I truly believe, like, regardless if I joined the mentorship or not, I would succeed. But whether I would succeed at the rate that I did, or even as close as I have so far, I think it's night and day different. But I truly believe, like, I would have done well regardless, but not at this level.
Raul, you 100% would have done well regardless, but you probably would have been on my plan. Yeah. Which would have been a 12-year plan versus you're here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I'm talking about, you would have been 30 when you're making $200K a year.
I agree.
You're here.
I think it would have. I agree. I mean? Yeah.
Maybe the time span would have been shorter. I don't know, but it definitely would have been longer.
I
can tell you 100%, bro. There's books that I've read this year that if someone would have told me to read it when I was 20, man, would have been the same. You get what I'm saying? So
100%.
Definitely.
Yeah, and definitely. I 100% agree with that. That's why I always tell people. But to be honest, like, I don't have like a like, I look back and I don't really remember like truthfully. I know why, obviously, but to me that was the why. Like, it was like, I didn't know, and I knew you were where I wanted to be. And I hear every mentor tell me, like, seek mentorship. I wasn't like too like over my head to be like, oh, like, I can have somebody guide me. I knew, like, okay, I can have somebody guide me, and you exceeded all my expectations. I didn't really know what to expect. I just knew that you were going to help me get where I wanted to go. And so I was like, I had full faith in you. And I think probably a lot of it had to do with the fact that I learned how to cut hair from you, even though, like, it wasn't from you directly. Yeah. It was all on YouTube. So I was like, you taught me how to cut hair. I had so much faith and trust in you. I didn't really think, like, I didn't question, is this a scam? I didn't question, like, no, I just, like, I need to learn. And so I did. And I did it. And so I was like, I was shocked. When I learned, I was shocked. And to answer the second question, how did I do it? Just grinding, honestly, just grinding. Like, I was exactly what you say in the mentorship, right? First in, last out, take everybody that you can. I mean, I'm telling, like, I was dedicated. I was really dedicated. And the second, so there's two, like, probably three things that really, really, like, pushed me. The first one was the people around me. These guys were killing. I was like, every time I thought I was doing something, they humbled me. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, all right, like, I need to go harder. Like, it showed me that I could go way harder.
Are you talking about the community, the Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah, they go hard, bro.
Oh
Them
man,
boys go
that was
hard.
everything,
Hey,
man. Those
even
guys.
even now, Raul, you're killing it. But there's some guys in there that
Oh yeah,
yeah, they
like,
have
these
not.
guys.
This live stream has not seen the crazy stories we got in there.
Oh yeah,
we got some crazy guys in there.
It was insane. It was insane. I think I even have it. So the reason I even brought this up was I think I have it. I have to look into it. But so I remember the first year. So you know it was crazy. I joined the mentorship. So the first there's three things, right? One was the community that I was in, the Discord. Those guys pushed me hard, and they pushed me not intentionally, but just knowing that what they were doing like inspired me to keep and motivated me to keep going harder.
That's why I always say at least be a fly on the wall, at least, right?
Yeah,
that's all you need to do.
Yeah,
and you'll get value from it. But continue.
Exactly. The second thing, which was probably more the first one, is I picked the right barbershop on accident, and I say this on accident is because I had no idea that the barbershop that I was joining had value. Like I just, they were the first shop to kind of reach out, and I just took it. Once I joined the mentorship, I started to do research on my area and the street and the businesses around me, and I started to realize like, oh shoot, we're in an amazing area. We're in a high income area. People are not afraid to spend money. There's we're in a crazy busy street. This street all day, like I got placed in the perfect opportunity, and I had no idea. Like literally, like I was lucky. I was literally lucky.
God looked out.
Honestly, like that is exactly it. Yeah. That is exactly it. And so that was the second reason, and then the third reason is just.
But you got confirmation. You know, you were able to confirm you were in the right place. You knew it, and so you had the conviction to know I can go hard here, and I know I'm gonna get the results right.
100%. Yep. And so that was
knowing is half the battle. No.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. Like having trust in your path and knowing it gets exciting, right?
Yeah.
Like your future gets exciting.
Yeah. It gets very exciting. Once you realize what is possible, the limit. That's when everything opens up, right? It's like, damn, like you could literally do whatever. Like that's, oh man, that's the beautiful thing. When I realized I could do anything, and not just me, but all of us, that's when I was like, oh shoot, that it became exciting, and that's when I was like, okay, I need to learn more. I need to get it all put into place.
So you know what I've known for the last decade, and it crushes me, bro. Seeing so many barbers struggling, seeing the industry disrespected, our profession disrespected, because there's so many people that just don't know what they don't know, right? Yeah. And it's not, I'm not gonna say it's easy. It's not easy. It's also not hard, right? It's like it's just as easy to ignore that it's possible, right? It's just like
oh man, that's gonna go over so many people's heads, but it's so that statement is big. Oh,
bro,
man.
it crushes me, man. It's painful. I don't like to be very, when I promote things, I try to be very salesy. I try to be, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I know, bro, if you just listen for just listen and just apply this information, man. Oh my, and I'm sure you feel the same way, bro. Like you probably have family members, you're like, bro, let me put you on, man. Like just get your license, I'll put you on, bro.
Oh, it kills me, right? Man, it kills me. It kills me because it's like, I heard this from my brother, man. He told me, he's like, well, he didn't tell me this, but he implied this, and I got it. You know, he told me life is simple, but we make it complicated. And what I really got out of that is like the concepts are so simple. Most people know what to do. Most people know they need to, live on less than they make. Most people know that they need to do something with their money. Most people know that they shouldn't be spending, like, you know, all these simple concepts. And they know if they do that, they're gonna be better off. But for some reason, a lot of people don't. But I think I don't know exactly why it is. But once you get the concept and you actually apply it, and you start to realize like what you could do with that, I mean, the sky's the limit. And we overcomplicate it because we honestly, I think in our own heads we want it to be more complicated so we can justify why we're not doing what needs to be done. And so we will like think it's more complicated to make ourselves feel better, but in reality, it's so simple. We just need to get it done.
You can get it done, man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, congratulations, bro. I'm super proud of you, man. I'm excited for 5 years from now, bro. 5 years from now. Tony, shout out to Tony for the badge. But bro, like honestly, like stories like yours, like Jordan's, like Mo's, like Zach's, like even Tony, he's in here, he's opening his first shop. He just you know, we were just on the phone today about his location. You see it all the time. You see guys opening shops, right? And you see guys buying real estate. You see guys, you know, crushing it, breaking records, and we got guys in the program making $5,000-6,000 a week. A week, guys.
A week.
We might have like a dozen guys that every week you see them challenging each other. Hey, what'd you do this week? What'd you do this week?
Oh,
you know,
like, for sure.
Crushing it, man. And I feel like every year everyone continues to level up, and you know, I'd love to impact the industry as a whole, you know, and make this more normal. And you know that, bro. Like, you know, like if you got guys around you, pour into them, man. You know, pay it forward. And yeah, man. But I'm super proud of you, bro. Make sure you're tapped in the next couple of weeks. We're gonna be sharing how to grow your portfolio. Especially passively. Especially if you're a 6-figure earner. You've seen it. How you've been in the program? How long?
About a year and a half.
About a year and a half. Just in a year and a half, you've seen how much the economy has changed, and we gotta constantly, you know, be adapting to it. And you know that the best investors adapt according to the economy. So I got some strategies in the next couple of weeks I'm gonna be sharing. You're perfect to make sure you're tuned in. But with that being said, bro, thanks for jumping on, man.
Thank you, bro.
And super proud of you, man.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Couldn't have done it without you.
Yes, sir, man. Nah, you put in the work, bro. I know.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. How cool, guys. 22 years old. And guys, I'm telling you, I don't promote like that like I could. I probably need to. I probably need to promote more. But man, that's just one story. I showed you guys 10 others. On Mars, I showed you 50, you know, and we're going to continue. We have 400 students. I'll continue to share these stories with y'all.